Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it, guys. So Netflix again up on the day 1.44%, and I mean you can see this thing is up massively, way overextended, and people that are buying calls, only thing I can say, good luck with that. Now we actually had some puts, and then this morning I actually added pretty much at the top and then sold for a nice profit. And then this thing went back up. I mean, from 868 went back up to almost 884. So Netflix right here, if this thing gets a pullback, and I think it's going to get that pullback, possibly after hitting maybe, I mean, I can say this now, 900 is not too far. We might get there, but I think very soon you're going to see a significant pullback down to 842 and possibly down to 5-day moving average, which is near 802.73. So I'm expecting a big pullback, and that can happen on Netflix. I mean, it's running on low volume also and just going straight up. So watch out for that. Now to the upside, like I said, we're trading into blue skies right here on Netflix, so it can definitely hit 900. I mean, this thing hit all my levels, and now, I mean, 900 is not too far away, so it can do that. On AMD, it's another down day, and I think Nvidia earnings is just out right now, and it's kind of flat to maybe down a little bit. But AMD down here 1.28%, and you can see this trend line here so far is holding. But we all know that if that gives up, you're going to see a massive dump off. I can actually put another trend line right here on AMD, and if you look at my screen, I mean, it's looking pretty good right here if we get the breakout, but so far, I mean, we're not getting any breakout right here on AMD. So this is gonna be a line in the sand right here, guys. 138, and looks like it's barely holding. If that gives up, this trend line, which is close to 135, underneath that level, this thing will dump down to 125, and then it can go much lower from there. To the upside, there will be resistance at 143.71, 148, 150.62, negative sloping 20-day moving average, and then we can talk about 160 to 164 on AMD. On Meta, it's up 0.79%. So Meta, I've been playing Meta for the last few days and kept only a few contracts. I think it was only 4 or 5 contracts this morning. Even played yesterday. I did not actually, made any updates yesterday on stock market. So Meta was one of the play that I took yesterday, but that was from Monday that we picked up Meta calls. And today, I mean, this thing delivered. And if you look at my screen, early as tomorrow morning, we might be filling this gap at 573. So Meta is on the move. We got a hammer type candle today. And so far, again, Bollinger Band to the rescue. You can see why these trades actually pay. Lower Bollinger Band sitting right here at 551. We didn't go too far. We did not actually break this lower band, even though there is a gap down here. Now we're going back up to close the gap on top as usual. How bullish this market is, we're going back up to close the gap on top. So there will be resistance at 573. If we can clear that, then we can talk about blue skies again, possibly going up to 600 again. Now, if this thing gets a rejection or it comes down to 558 and that gives up, you're going to see a dump off down to 551, and then this gap comes into play just over 544. And here's my X account, and if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow. And there is no subscription, nothing on X right here. It's totally free, not like the other channels. Now, a lot of people nowadays, they want to gamble with options, and I do that too. But I've been doing it for a long time. I can play shares, I can do options. I got quite a few accounts where I do shares, options, and pretty much everything. So if you look at right here, why holding is the key. You can see I've been buying snow shares as this thing was coming down from, I think it was like 136, or I don't really remember. It was somewhere around 140 to 130 I started. Then I bought more. Then I bought even more. And you can see 650 shares I sold today, 450 shares, and still holding 200 shares. went to the moon just after earnings. And why I was holding? Well, instead of playing options, if I can make, 30, $40,000, and just giving you guys an example, just holding options 5 6 month, it's going to decay, right? But if you're holding shares, it's not, and you can make that money back. It's just like putting money in the savings, and it's growing every day, but not on penny stocks. I'm not talking about penny stocks. This is a good company right here. It was beaten down, it was really oversold, so picked up shares, and now you can see this thing is flying. So especially people that are actually really serious about trading, they don't want to go and gamble with options. These are fantastic opportunities. When these are there, you got to grab them now. Now for the option traders, look at this play right here. Just before closing, guys, I mean 2:34 p.m. I called it right here that Nvidia earnings. I'm not gonna play Nvidia, but 510 calls picked up. Friday expiration using my special indicators. Just playing with $1,000. Nothing big. It's super duper cheap. What happened? 341, it's 100%. So all these trade ideas, and especially if you have any questions and you are serious about trading, also I'll be running Thanksgiving special and Black Friday special very soon next week for annual membership. If you guys are serious about trading, then definitely, guys, check out the link down below in the description for Patreon. It's worth every penny. On Microsoft is down 0.5%. So Microsoft again making a new low on this pullback right here. You can see pretty much a lower low down to 410, and then got a bounce and came back up and holding 413. As a matter of fact, trading near 417 now. So Microsoft not out of the woods yet until we get over, I would say, these moving averages, 420 to 422. In that case, you'll see a quick trip up to 432 to close this gap on top, and there is another gap at 443. Now if this thing cannot bounce, and this could be a giant bear flag right here, guys, you guys can see it right here, huge bear flag. If this is where to play out, you're going to see a significant sell-off here on Microsoft. So that is why I don't like holding this stock too long, and especially not thinking about going long term here, only down a few bucks from all-time highs. Now if this thing takes out 413, in that case you will see 405 and then 400. That's going to be the next stop on Microsoft. On Amazon, stock is down 0.85%. So Amazon was up yesterday, down today, back down to 200, under 200, but it's holding and respecting 20-day moving average and this previous resistance now as a support. Underneath 200, you'll see a flush, and I think this gap will come into play under 200, 195, and then 190.60 to the upside. As long as we're over 200, watch out for the resistance to break 205.67. Over that, you're going to see a quick trip up to this gap just under 211. On Google stock, it's a down day 1.25% and holding over 176 and now trading at 177.33. So Google here, your key line in the sand is 176. Underneath that level, this gap comes into play 172 and the support, and below that we also have support at 170, 168, red line 50-day moving average, and then this gap right here at 165. We got many gaps down here, so at some point you will see that this thing coming down and closing some of these gaps to the upside over 176. Next resistance will be right here on top. That's going to be near 184, and if we can break that, we will be retesting previous all-time highs again on Google stock. On Tesla, stock is down 1%. So Tesla holding over 330 and not even getting down to this gap right here, just under 325. So Tesla 330 will be a key level to watch. Underneath that level, this gap comes into play at 324.68, which is going to be a support level to watch. And under that, there will be support down here at 312.95. Now, as long as it's over 330, watch out for a move over 358. Should take Tesla up to $371. On Apple stock, it's up 0.32%. So Apple, you can see it right here. This is clearly a bear flag that is forming, but so far it's not out of the woods yet. It's not over 230. Again, at rejection, you can see multiple rejection here at 230 and now trading at 229. As a matter of fact, now it's down to 228.74 after closing. So Apple here, there will be support at 227 right here, these moving averages, and then this trend line right here, that's going to be around 224 and then 220. Underneath that level, you'll see this gap getting filled, 216.90. But if this thing can get over 230, in that case, previous all-time highs will be retested right here, 237.49 on Apple stock. On Nvidia stock is down 0.76%, and now with earnings, I don't even know if they got a beat or not. This thing is absolutely flat, trading at 145. So I don't like to do technical analysis with something like Nvidia. They just came out with earnings, so I think tomorrow will be a better day to actually do some technical analysis on Nvidia stock. Today, I mean, it so far has not made any moves. And if you look at my screen holding 145, if we open over 145, then 150 possible. If this thing opens under 145, and if there is a flush, we might be retesting 140 to 136. That is all I can tell you on Nvidia stock. There is no prediction, nothing going on. And if you did not actually play this earnings, you're better off just not playing this, because if you played it now, tomorrow morning, it does not matter. Whatever you got, puts or calls, they're gonna be zero because of IV factor on Nvidia stock. And regardless, it's not moving. So I mean, that's why it's not worth gambling playing earnings unless you're really sure, that it's going to beat, or maybe they're not going to beat. In that case, you can play calls or puts, whatever the case. But we don't get informations like that. Retail traders, investors, it's really hard to play earnings. If you gamble, I'm sorry, not gonna make any money. This thing has not moved, and if you did not gamble, maybe you can play, something tomorrow. You'll get better opportunity on Nvidia stock. If there is a dip, I'm not going to chase this at 145. If this thing comes down to, I would say 136, that would be something to watch. Maybe buy the dip right here, as long as support can hold on Nvidia. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great night, everybody.